up, y'all? It's Kelly Clarkson.
Hey, what's up? This is 50 Cent. This is your boy Flo Rida. Believe that.
Yo, what's the deal? This is Ja Rule.
What up? This is Kesha.
This is David Guetta.
What's up with Destiny Child?
This your boy Drake.
Hi, this is Rihanna.
Hey, this is Tom Cruise. Yo, what up? This Big Snoop Dogg. Rock like it, y'all. This your boy Twista in the house.
Hey, this is Taylor Swift, and you're listening to.
You're listening to.
Yeah, right, thank you.
You're listening to. Check it out. And this is Taylor Mings. Alright, what's up? This is Big Will Smith.
Hey, check this out, man.
This is Ron, man.
Hi, this is Madonna.
What up? This is Lupe Fiasco. Yo, what up? It's your boy Wiz Khalifa. T6 Mafia in the building.
This is Kings of Leon. Hi, this is Lionel Richie.
Hi, it's Christina Barr.
Hey, what's up? This is Jay-Z.
And this is Brandon Boyd from the bench.
This is DJ Paul from the Grandmaster Flash. This is Steve from the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Hi, this is Eric Clapton.
What's up? This is LL Cool J. Man.
My name is Frank Idemudia Alapa, that's my name. Talking sports, my game. And I am the greatest. I love listening to Elegbetter TV radio. For undiluted, unadulterated, it's probably replicated, but still not yet duplicated. It's sports only on Elegbetter TV radio. I seriously love listening to it.
Hello, everybody. What's up, people? My name is Timmy Dakolo, and you are listening to Elegbetter TV radio. Stay tuned.
Elegbetter TV radio. Redefining broadcasting. Listen. You are listening to Elegbetter TV radio. This is radio like you never heard before. Elegbetter TV radio. The pathfinder for radio. Elegbetter TV radio. We dare to lead. This is radio like you never heard before. Elegbetter TV radio, the best in entertainment and sport.
All right, good morning and welcome to the Spurs Buffet on Elegbetter TV radio. My name is Idafe Matthew. So you love to call me the Elegbetter One of Sports. Today is the day for those people who graduated into the UEFA Champions League. Today is the day you will know your youth corpus department. This is the day you will know where you will go and serve. Those people who qualify to play in the UEFA Champions League, this is where you will know where your special camp will be done, because the group stage teams have been confirmed already. In case you don't know, in Pot 1 you have Manchester City, the champions of England, champions of the Champions League, and champions of the English FA Cup, even if that doesn't matter right now. Sevilla of Spain, in the top 4 qualifiers, but you don't forget that once you win the Europa Cup, you obviously would qualify to play in the Champions League. So they qualify by virtue of that one. They come from Spain and they're holders of the Europa Cup. FC Barcelona, defending champion of the Spanish La Liga, not doing too well this season, but the game against Villarreal could just be a place to start. We hear Ansu Fati is going to Brighton That's a different conversation as we progress on the show. Napoli almost did the impossible in the Champions League last season, but injury and a thin squad did them in. But that notwithstanding, they still celebrated because it was a successful season. Since the days of Maradona, Napoli seen the league title win. They've tried, they've invested, they've signed everybody from Mario Icardi to Gonzalo Higuain to a whole lot of people. But a boy from Olusegun, place in very, very unpopular place in Lagos, but Osimhen have made it popular by the name Victor Osimhen. We call him the Lion of Lagos. Yes, is the one who came and led them from the front by being the top goal scorer in the Italian Serie A. Also, in 6 games in the Champions League, he scored 5 goals. They are back in the Champions League to give it another try. If you try once, you fail, don't give up, come back again. Bayern Munich, just a giant in this competition, but last couple of 2 seasons now, so they've not done well. Last time they won it, beating Paris Saint-Germain in the finals. Bayern Munich, the champions of Germany, by a whisker on the last day, are back in the Champions League. They're in pot 1. Paris Saint-Germain, PSG as they call them, the perennial leaders of the French Ligue 1, but strugglers in the Champions League. But a couple of seasons ago, they were in the finals of Champions League, just like Man City were in the finals of Champions League, and then eventually they've won it. This might just be Paris Saint-Germain's season. With that squad that they have, it's you're dreaming too far. Benfica, always a consistent one, but they have a cost that is hanging on their head. We don't know. The thing about this is we don't know when the cost would disappear. And once that cost disappears, they just might go on to win it. Benfica, with the Belagotma cost, are in the competition for Portugal, but they're in pot 1. It means that they're highly rated. Feyenoord from the Netherlands, who won the league in Spain, are also there. So this is a collection of teams that won the league in their country. The only team in this group that didn't win their league is Sevilla or Spain, but they won something good. Something happened, and I know he touched me and made me. Yes, Europa Cup touched their hand, and it made them equals with the league winners. But 2, you have a team that didn't win it, but their coefficient rating puts them up there. Real Madrid of Spain, perennial Champions League winners, are there as well. I wish I could play the Champions League anthem, but then it means that my channel will be taken down. Can't take that gamble. Yeah, I worked too hard to bring it up, to be foolish. I can't be foolish. I'm not like MPFA club administrators who will go for their AGM wearing Barcelona jersey, wearing other club jerseys, and say it doesn't matter. No, I'm not that. I'm not that stupid. Yes, Manchester United are there, even though they're fumbling and wobbling, stuttering and staggering in England, but they got the give me that old-time religion. Yes, they've got some statistics and coefficient ratings that put them up there. Inter Milan are there as well. They were last season finalists. Borussia Dortmund. Last time they won the UEFA Champions League, Lars Rickens was still playing for them. It was in 1997. Where were you in 1997? Oh, some of you were not even born. I know that Emmanuel Sebastian in 1997 was 3 years old. Yes, I know that one for sure because he was born in 1994. Okay, let's move further down. Atletico Madrid with the highest paid coach, highest any coach in the world, the Magic Walker, with the tiny budget, working wonder. The biggest transfers signing they did for him have turned out to be rubbish. Yes, a war gecko thinking of himself as an alligator. Well, I'm talking about Jean Felix. But then they are in the pot 2 of the UEFA Champions League. RB Leipzig, since they came into top flight football, they've been consistent. Yeah, they've not won the German Bundesliga, but you know that it's not going to be too far. If Bayern Munich are going to drop the ball, it is either them or Borussia Dortmund. Yes, that's RB Leipzig, the team from the east of Germany, battling it out with all the big giants from the west side of Germany. FC Porto, yes, another Portuguese team are in this department. Yesterday win their league title, so they are in pot 2. Arsenal, who topped the league for 234 days. Yes, but still didn't end up winning it. They are like Moses. They saw the promised land, but they didn't go in. Joshua and Caleb came and led them, brought down the walls of Jericho of Arsenal, and Man City took it. Well, it's a season where they won the treble. Remember, when Manchester United also won the treble, Arsenal was so close to it. Arsenal was close to a double that season. Dennis Beckham missed the penalty in the FA Cup semi-finals, and Ryan Giggs went on to score the goal that defines the FA Cup. And then also Arsenal lost the league as they run out of steam. Again, under Arsene Wenger, and then that's exactly what Arteta repeated this time around, even though they were not on for the double, but they looked like they were going to win the league. Once William Saliba got injured, full finish for Car. Really. So I say just be. Yeah, so for 3, you have Shakhtar Donetsk. Even though their country is at war, they are playing their matches in Portugal. Salzburg of Austria is also in this pot. Then you have perennial former strong landlord of the UEFA Champions League, AC Milan. But lately, they've not really been as strong as you expect them to be. They are in this one. They are called Milan. Okay, and then you have Braga. Braggadociously FC Braga. Every time I remember this FC Braga, I remember Edison Uwa Ichejile. PSV Eindhoven of Netherlands, I saw in pot 3. Lazio of Italy is there. Vesna Sedna, or what's it called now? What's that name? That's the name. Sporting I remember. FC Copenhagen, yesterday night, they drew 1-1, but thanks to a 1-0 in the first leg away from home, they were able to qualify. FC Copenhagen of Denmark, yes, pot 4. I remember this team, FC Copenhagen. I remember my injuries. Okay, it was in that friendly match that everything ended. Pot 4, Young Boys of Switzerland. Young Boys of Switzerland. Young Boys and FC Basel always have a way of creating problem for teams in the UEFA Champions League. Okay, and then you have Real Sociedad, one of the most stubborn teams to beat by Barcelona in Spain. In pot 4, you also have Galatasaray of Turkey. You have Celtic of Scotland. Newcastle United, yes, they are back in the Champions League after an eternity of staying away, but that doesn't change anything. They are still going to be in pot 4, but at least the most important thing is you're there. What time I want you to be looking at this one and say, I want to close my eyes and I want to close my ears and I want to listen to this. Union Berlin, as they call them in Germany, are in pot 4. Antwerp of Belgium. Antwerp. When I remember Antwerp, I remember slavery. I remember King Leopold of Belgium. Yes, don't tell me anything is true. Those histories are not taught in school, but for those of us who like to read, we know the truth. Okay, Lens of France. Every time I hear Lens, the first thing that comes to my mind is my own boy, my former classmate, Wisin Owoyo Oruma. Yes, some of you don't know what Owoyo is anyway. So let's look at some of the stories of the UEFA Champions League. I'm going to come back to all the other news, but there's, we're running 1 hour 30 minutes today. Which club appeared in the Champions League draws? So you know the draws. Again, let me guarantee you that during the draws, for those of you who might not be close to TV, who will not be able to see it, you can download our mobile application now on your phone, on your iOS or Android phone, and we would give you, we have a permission for UEFA to be able to stream it on our radio live, the audio, so you get it live, and we'll talk about it as the days progresses. Okay, to ensure that pet clubs from the same country play on separate days, the 8 groups will be distinguished by colors. Group A to D will be red, and Group E to H will be blue. When a pet club is drawn, for example, in one of the red groups A, B, C, or D, the other pet club, once it has been drawn, will automatically be assigned to one of the 4 groups of E, F, G, or H. So there is a color differential to make sure these teams don't play. So let's look at it from this as example. For instance, Manchester City and Manchester United A, Sevilla and Atletico Madrid B, Barcelona and Real Madrid C, Napoli and Lazio D, Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund E, Paris Saint-Germain and Lens F, Benfica and Porto G, Feyenoord and PSV H, Inter and AC Milan I, Leipzig and Union Berlin J, and you get Arsenal and Newcastle in K. So that's how it will be like. When are these season matches draw? So let's get down into that question and answer. Yes, the group stages match day 1 is from 19th and 20th of September 2023. Match day 2 is 3rd to 4th of October. Match day 3 is 24th to 25th of October. Match day 4 is 7th to 8th of November. And then match day 5, you have 28th to 29th of November. And then the final one for this year is match day 6. Group stage comes to an end. On the 12th and 13th of December, we're done with the group stage. So the Champions League draws, remember, round of 16 will be done on the 18th of December. Quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals March 15th of 20 March 15th of March 2024. Okay, so in the knockout stages, it's going to go round of 16. It's going to be 13th, 14th, 20th, 21st of February, 5th, 6th, 12th, 13th of March 2024. And then you have the quarterfinals will be played on the 9th and 10th, 9th, 10th, and 16th and 17th April 2024. Semi-finals will be played 30th April, 1st of May, 7th and 8th of May. And then the final of the UEFA Champions League this season will be played on the 1st of June 2024. That's how it will look like. So, if there's any question you want to ask, please pop it up. We'll try our best on the show today to answer those questions. Having said that, well, I always wonder. I'm also part of this. I always wonder why we would spend years, studying one thing in school and coming out to do something else in real life, right? Give you a good example, I'm a mechanical engineer, but that changes nothing. That means absolutely nothing. It's not related to what I do currently, and it is not even understandable in the first place. So how does that happen? What leads to all of that? Well, those are the things that we would also be talking about while we're talking about transfer with Mo Salah. Okay, if you're a Liverpool fan or not, do you think Mo Salah is going to move? 118 million pounds is what Al Ittihad is willing to give to Liverpool. If you ask my opinion, if you ask me, this one I get opinion. I get what time to talk. If you ask me, I'll say Liverpool take the money. Manchester one, take the money. He can buy you something. I don't think you're going to win the title whether you have him or you don't have him. So why not take the money and do something good with the money? Because I don't think that when I sit here and I'm looking at Mo Salah and I'm thinking he still have something that he will give to the club. I don't think so. I might be wrong, but I don't think so. I don't know what you think, but tell me what you think, and then we'll take it up from there. Okay? So whatever you are, I am here, you are there. Let's get talking on the show. Don't forget, it is the Sports Buffet. You can listen across different platforms. On the World Wide Web, it's www.elegotetv.com/radio. On your mobile application, it is Elegotet TV on your Android or iOS. So if you're using iPhone, we're there. If you're using Android, we're there. Even if you're in Kovun, we're there. You can download and listen to this show. And then when the day is getting too heated and you need some music to cool you, you can trust us uninterrupted. We give you some good music. Remember, our interns, those lovely girls, would always be in the studio from 12 to 1, honing their skills. We give them opportunity. Somebody sent me a mail yesterday. Hi, I feel like what you're doing. Let me read it. I think I was just reading that. Hi, I feel like what you're doing with this, your interns. Sometimes some people don't even get to go close to the microphone as interns. I interned some time ago at a radio station, and I spent 3 months running around, going to buy snacks, buy food. I was just as good as a cleaner and a messenger. I didn't get close to being on the microphone any day, but it was an experience. Everything in life you learn. But the fact that you're giving these young ones this opportunity is nice. I hope that they value it and they take it going forward. Whatever they choose to do, we all know that you can study mass comm and still not end up as a broadcaster. But if they choose to, you're giving them a solid foundation. My name is Dami, always a silent listener of your show. Thank you very much. All right, Dami, appreciate that one that you sent in. It's heartwarming that we're doing something nice. Okay, something right. Let's look at the news segment. Also touch base on the transfer. We'll come back to Champions League. Okay, we'll still talk on Champions League. It's not done yet. But then for those of you who, we agreed yesterday that we're going to talk about people who studied one thing and are doing something else. How did it happen? Reveal. Let's do some reveal. I studied engineering. I could see, I'm still a handyman. I still know how to do one or two things. I know combustion engine, carburetor. I know all those small things. I can still do some mechanical work. I'm a very handyman at home. I don't know if my handiness is because I am broke. I like to do things a lot, but I don't know if not because I don't really get money or not just the way I be, because in the heart before the compass and the coffee thing. So but I think I've always been like that, even before school. So, but then how did we go from this is your choice path, this is where you end up to? Those are the stories that we want to share, have fun doing it while we're talking about transfer, talking about sporting headline, talking about every other thing. Yes, before we forget, just as day before yesterday, Spurs got knocked out of the Carabao Cup or Calabar Cup, as we love to call it. Chelsea was not interested in that nonsense. They didn't select weak players and say, Enzo, come and play. We sign you to play. How many competition would you play with the select player? What's it called? Nicola Jackson, come and dance Michael Jackson, yeah. Come and play, everybody come and play. Come on, Bayo, come on, by everybody, come on, by. Yes, that was what Mauricio Pochettino was singing. He was not interested in all these, keep them on the bench. Come on, play football, yeah. They all played and they won against Wimbledon, 2-1. So the tale of 2 penalty and a move by the Wimbledon goalkeeper kept the goalpost empty, and Enzo was not letting anything to chance. He had hit some shots that was saved by the Wimbledon goalkeeper, but this time around he found the empty net and he played it with aplomb like Michael Ballack or Frank Lampard would do, and it was 2-1. That was all she wrote. But there are some teams that were not lucky enough. They got knocked out. So talked about Leicester winning their game yesterday, but yesterday we talked about them winning, but it was a different story for some of that team. But thank God, the ones that won, they won. The ones that have been knocked out have knocked out. We would look at some of those results from the Carabao Cup, just as we also look at the news segment and then the transfer story. The whole news is covered with transfer stories anyway. Chelsea 1-2 goes to 1. Blackburn were not nice. They were not nice at all. They were rather playing basketball. I think they brought basketball players or tennis players as they beat Harrogate. They made the gate very, very harrow as they made them go through pain. 8-0 in front of their own fans. Nottingham Forest, as we speak, are out of the competition as they were beaten by Burnley. Yeah, finally Burnley gets something to rejoice about. Everton also got to score goals this time around. Danjuma scored and Beto as well. So they scored. Everton beat Doncaster Rovers 2-1. Yeah, Lincoln Navigator beat Sheffield United 1-0. And Burnley beat Nottingham Forest 1-0. That's how the story ended in the Carabao Cup. And then we move. There's no need me giving you the Europe Champions League qualification game because we already know the people that are there. I've mentioned those ones for you already. There's going to be plenty of games in the UEFA Europa League qualification match. The list is like some people bet sleep that, and then also the UEFA Conference League qualification. The list is very long. It's like all those people that want to use 100 naira to win 10 billion. People that want to go to bed as the conductor and wake up the next morning as Dangote. This is how the fixtures is. I don't have that time. If I have to read that fixtures for you guys, we might just not have a show. We might just as well just call it the fixtures show. But let's look at some of the stories that are making the land. Inter make a loan offer for Tanguy Ndombele with Tottenham set for immediate return to Serie A after winning the Scudetto with Napoli. Player left Tottenham Hotspur on loan, won a league title, came back, is going to Inter again. Again, what if Inter Milan ends up winning the title? All the players of Spurs will still be there, hoping and wishing. Oh God, what's that song? Is it Arukali? Ignition? Yeah, they're hoping and wishing. Nothing is coming true. 26-year-old has struggled to settle in England following his 2019 arrival from Lyon, failing to show the level of consistency that prompted Spurs to shell out a club record 65 million fee on him. Aston Villa have agreed to sign Clement Lenglet on loan from Barcelona as turned to former Tottenham defender to replace Tyrone Mings after his horror injury. Man, that Mings injury, wow. The Midlands club have been searching for backup to Pau Torres at left-sided centre-back after Tyrone Mings picked up a serious injury in the early weeks of the season. Atletico Madrid have revived talks with Tottenham Hotspur over signing Pierre-Emile Hojbjerg on loan with obligation to buy for £40 million after the midfielder was linked with Manchester United. Atletico Madrid have revived that talk with Tottenham Hotspur and they hope it can happen. Nottingham Forest are in advanced talk to sign Callum Hobson-Odoi from Chelsea with the winger surplus to requirement under Mauricio Pochettino and training with the under-20s. Oh, God, some coaches are just evil. A potential move for Fulham has failed to materialize for Hudson-Odoi, who is 22 years of age, and Forest, and now is most likely destination ahead of Friday's deadline. Manchester United are in discussion with Turkish side Galatasaray over a loan deal for Danny van der Beek, while French side Lyon also offered the Dutchman away out of Old Trafford. Manchester United are in serious discussion with Galatasaray over the potential loan deal for Van der Beek, while there is also interest from French side French Ligue 1 side Lyon. Well, not leaving Manchester United, let's tell you here that Mason Greenwood is set to be offered a career lifeline loan in Turkey after he was asked by Manchester United as Besiktas line up a 6 months deal to gauge public opinion. My problem with this Mason Greenwood thing is, this whole debacle is, you cut him off, right? But you did not terminate his contract. It seems like there's some greed, some evil here. Okay, you don't want him to play your club because you're afraid of what public opinion, the court of public opinion will say. Why not say, okay, we terminate your contract, pay you off your 7 million, whatever we're supposed to pay you. You go and live your life. Nothing with us. You don't want him to train with you. You don't want him to come to Old Trafford. But whenever he's training, he's carrying the badge of Manchester United around him. He said, I don't think that's fine. But it's because a club has done it to a player now, it's okay, and he's a black player, it's okay. One day this same thing would happen again, and then the way people will react will be different. I know. This was a hurricaneist kind of player or something. Nobody will be able to. Leroy Smith, for instance, nobody will sleep. The talk not going. But let's move on. God did a common prayer. Besiktas are reportedly prepared to offer Mason Greenwood a chance to restart his career, with the Turkish club expected to make a loan offer to Manchester United for the forward. Well, I hope it goes through and I hope he plays well. And the Turkish fans, well, they would say whatever they want to say, but eventually, if he starts scoring the goals and he starts playing well, it's only the away fans that will be insulting him. But I would say to people in football, let the away fans insult you, insult them back by scoring and putting on man of the match performance every game. I think for Mason Greenwood, again, every game for him going forward will be finals, and he would need to kill himself. Okay, not literally kill himself, but wow, he needs to leave everything on the field. He doesn't have the opportunity to have a bad day anymore. Okay, a permanent move for American striker Florian Balogun from Arsenal to Monaco has been approved as of this afternoon, which is yesterday. No figure for the move was given, but a report from Fabrizio Romano say that the deal will be in excess of $43 million, which is 40 million euros. Monaco announced the decision on Wednesday, but did so with a video that confused many Americans and Monegasque fans alike. Okay, because they brought one truck, one NASCAR that was doing donuts. That's what they call it, right? How they did that, I don't understand. But hey, it is what it is. These days, everybody is trying to outdo each other with the revelation or the unveiling of the player. So it is what it is. David De Gea has taken to social media to show that he is keeping shape in private training section, having been let go by Manchester United at the end of the season. Please go to Saudi Arabia. The Spanish shortstopper picked up the Premier League Golden Glove Award in 2022-2023 after a stellar season between the sticks for the Red Devils. In total, David De Gea kept an impressive 17 clean sheets in the English top flight, but it was not enough to earn him a contract renewal, with the club declining to extend his stay by an optional 12 months. I don't understand. The best goalkeeper of the league? Well, we will see. Oh, nah. Yeah, Benny Man. We'll see what Onana can do. Yeah, Manchester United hold talks with Benfica over wonder kid Joao Neves. Okay, they dubbed him the Bruno Fernandes 2.0. When they want to lie, give you, this is what they say. When they want to lie and scam you now, this is what they say. And could still a match on Chelsea because of the Enzo Fernandez saga. The Portugal under-21 midfielder made 20 first-team appearances in 2022-2023 season as part of a breakthrough campaign at the Estadio de la Luz. Okay, well, I don't know whether it turned out good, but we'll see. Chelsea reached £45 million agreement with Manchester City for Cole Palmer as the England under-21 winger prepares to move to have a medical at Stamford Bridge ahead of surprise move from Pep Guardiola's champions. Now, my question is, Chelsea fans, please come and tell me. Let me read it again. Chelsea have reached a £45 million agreement with Manchester City for Cole Palmer in a boost to Mauricio Pochettino. According to report, Palmer will undergo his medical immediately. Now, let me ask you guys. Is Cole Palmer, I'm not saying he's not a good player, and I'm not saying the money is big, but is that a need at Chelsea right now? Or Chelsea just want to be buying every young player out there? Because there's going to come a time where experience will be needed. And I don't think it's going to. I watched the Carabao Cup game, and that's why, like, if Wimbledon was just a little bit tidy and a little bit of experience, they would have beaten Chelsea. And, one defeat here, one defeat there because of lack of experience, because of players that are stumbling and trying to find their feet, trying to prove themselves. All of this spending will be rolling over. This new owners have spent $1 billion. It took Roman Abramovich 8 years on the club before he expanded $1 billion. I agree that funds are not the same and the market have changed, but in 3 transfer windows, you've already expanded $1 billion. And the project, we don't know where the project is going right now. We don't know the direction. And nobody know where they are going. Last season, they were in 12th position. It doesn't look like this Chelsea team in my head doesn't really look like they can, really shake it off for the top 4. The only reason why top 4 is still in the conversation for them is that it also doesn't look like the other teams are really going to be consistent. But the season, this is early days. Like I always say, wait till after the first international break, after the start of the season. That's when the season really officially starts. All this one we're doing is preamble, is training, preseason of the season. When we come back from this next international break and we get into the September groove, that's when the season really starts. But we will see. Brighton are closing in on a surprise loan signing of Barcelona forward Ansu Fati with Wonder Kid. Have you guys noticed that there is not a player that have been tagged Wonder Kid that have turned out well? Giovanni Dos Santos, Jesse Lingard, Marcus Rashford, Theo Walcott, Jack Wilshere, Francis Jeffers. There's this guy, this other one that they said he was Messi. He was on Barcelona too, not Giovanni Dos Santos. There's this other player, I've forgotten his name now, said Wonder Kid. Pato at AC Milan, Wonder Kid. Oscar Nguaba of Chelsea, Wonder Kid. All these people that they give Wonder Kid, they always end up as rubbish. Okay. Ansu Fati is another one with the title Wonder Kid. We all know he knows how to play ball. He doesn't run like rats when they walk for house with catch fire. But hey, let's see. You see, can't you see that Lamine? I mean, what they call that Lamine in Barcelona? That's a football player. You don't need anybody to tell you whether that boy is sabi or not sabi. You don't need a hype. Bojan Kekik, yes. Baba, God bless you. Bojan Kekik. You see this guy, he sabi pass Messi. Nothing come out of it. Nothing. Even Marco Reus, okay, at least is it Marco Reus? No, Mario Götze won the World Cup for Germany, so we can forgive him. We can. Then there's one player also that played for Manchester United. Okay, there's one that played for Real Madrid. He scored only 1 goal. I remember that goal. Madrid needed a draw against Dortmund to qualify for the group stage of Champions League, and he scored the goal the last minute. Javier Portillo, right? But then there's one that played for Manchester United, and I went to Real Sociedad. I've forgotten his name. Oh, Wonder Kid. He knows sabi nothing. Javier Portillo, and then that boy. And there's also one that came from America, Freddie Adu. Oh, Wonder Kid. Every time they give people, no, Pastor is a play ball. Injury, no. Pastor is the Argentine guy. Is a play ball. Pastor, Javier Pastor is a play ball. And they talk about Javier Portillo, not be Pastor. Pastor is a play ball. Let's give it to him. He's a play ball. He played this one. Javier Portillo played with Raúl González in Real Madrid. A small boy scored 1 goal against Dortmund. Then Macheda, another Wonder Kid. Yeah, Adnan Januzaj. That's the one that went to Real Sociedad. Jesus. European media don't deceive us well. All these footballers, they don't deceive us well. Federico Macheda, Adnan Januzaj, all those people. Just be like, all of them be like Graham Potter, the next best coach out of England. He went to military training. That's like, I was asking my friend, Matitela, I said, what is the relationship between military training, military psychology, Academy of Military Psychology, and football? What do they mean? Military people live a regimented and organized. Footballers are mad people. What is the connection? What is the relationship? How is that a reason why he will be a great coach at Chelsea? And say, let's see. Then there's another one, Kakuta for Chelsea. Oh, wonder kid, thunder, fire, wonder for my head. Wonder. Oh, Brighton are closing in on the wonder kid. There's blah 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 blah. Impressed by their style, the style of play, and manager Roberto Di Zerbi. You decrease. Nobody wants you. You're not impressing nothing. You're not savvy player. All right. Brighton are, hoping that this deal will eventually become a permanent deal from a loan deal. Let's see how it go. Well, Bayern Minister Ryan Gravenberch agreed personal terms with Liverpool as Red looks to settle on a fee with the German giants, who are targeting Polinia as a replacement, but have been quoted £70 million by Fulham. Polinia, is it worth £70 million? I know that these are the days. These are the days of Elijah. Yo, anything in the midfield is very expensive. Yo, hey, quiet man. Hey, okay, now walk more. Let me smell something. But is Polinia? Is he worth £70 million? Is £70 million $1? Mama Charlie, Abi Charlie, £70 million Charlie. Now that they talk. So the player had been keen to leave the club in the current transfer window and has since agreed terms with Liverpool over a potential deal. Although the two sides are still yet to agree a fee, any hijacker can come and hijack. Fiorentina have told Manchester United, turn the fire on her. After now waste our time all through, we let this player even be training alone, and you come here and tell us you don't want to buy again, you want him on loan, and then you're offering us 1.7. Turn the fire on him. That's how they said it. Not me, not me. I didn't terror. I'll try to away from club na. I'm gonna see Gabriel. What's it called? Gabriel Batistuta. The club that I used to play for. That I'm not the one that said it, so don't come and be blaming me here. Fiorentina reject Manchester United's £1.7 million loan offer for Sofian Amrabat, but will consider a deal with an obligation to buy the Moroccan midfielder because that's what they want. They want this player sold. There is anything this, that's what they have said. Well, that's the new segment. Let's go to transfer. Most of the things that you've heard here, they might repeat themselves in the transfer storyboard, but we will see. There is easy here, Salah. I'm asking the same question again. Liverpool fans, should Liverpool be digging their heel and not let Mo Salah go? But for me, I think they should let him go. But I want to know what you guys think about him anyway, and then we will see how it goes from there. Talking about Mo Salah is my first story. Yeah, Al Ittihad are preparing a £180 million bid for Mohamed Salah, despite Liverpool insisting the 31-year-old Egyptian king of football is not for sale. Okay, now I know what I could do for sale now. We go Wakalivana. Liverpool Budget Club would be furious if the Reds attempted to accept Saudi side Al Ittihad for Salah with the transfer deadline on Friday. Tottenham Hotspur are also considering a move for Crystal Palace England forward Eberechi Eze 25 after a move for Nottingham Forest Wales forward Brennan Johnson 22 stud. Well, he's not a forward, he's a midfielder. If you not like one of the color anything like that midfielder. Manchester United wants to sign a midfielder before the transfer deadline with Fiorentina Moroccan international Sofian Amrabat 27, their prime target, but the kind of money that they're calling is PC Fiorentina up. Manchester United have also contacted Tottenham over a deal for 28-year-old Denmark midfielder Pierre-Emile Hojbjerg, and so many people want this player. What Spurs are missing, they don't know. I think he's a good player, in my opinion. I might be wrong, but I think he's a good player. I think he's a midfield battler, and if given the right opportunity and the right people around him, he is a player that you should have in your team. But hey, coaches decide they don't want him. Who am I to say anything? Angie Postecoglou thinks differently. Make I mind my business. Bayern Munich are looking at 28-year-old Fulham midfielder Paulinho, who is open to the switch and is valued at €90 million, which is £77 million by the London club. God forbid that. Let's say Bayern Munich, this is their profit when they make, so they just in a hurry to waste out. Bayern are set to offer up to £50 million for Paulinho. That's reasonable for me, say £35 million. And have turned to the Portugal international because they are that over their move for Chelsea's 24-year-old English defender Trevor Chalobah. Okay, Borussia Dortmund have reached a verbal agreement to sign Southampton and German defender Almal Bala Kotschap, okay, 21 on loan deal with an option to buy. And you like this option to buy in a good way where you don't say that player is gone. Somebody should come and sign all those options to buy with Arsenal players, all those players that they want them to go. Loan or option to buy or full transfer, let them get out of the club. El Neni, Tavares, all those Kerantieni, all those ones, Holdings, Rob Holdings, Chambers, all those people that Chamberlain, I mean, whatever, all those players will not get used. Nicolas, yes, I don't go Pepe, we should throw him in the dustbin. Nobody will sign him. That's just nobody will sign him with a loan or an option to buy or with a straight buy. So just throw him in the dustbin. Just cut his contract like we did with Pierre-Emile Hojbjerg, player, and let him go wherever I want to go because he's doing naga. And the son says, if your boyfriend naga, let him go. So let him go. Okay, let's come back again. I know some people are listening to this show like that is mad to me. No, I'm not mad. I'm just having fun. If you don't like my way of having fun, you can go somewhere else where people are not having fun like me. But me, I cannot be dealing with Bala Blue situation. I cannot be dealing with Agbado and the rest and still refuse to have fun. No, there's the one that is free to me, that is not floating away as the Naira is floating away now. I will have fun. You see, this place where you are this, it cost me a whole lot to set up. To do even one day show cost is very expensive. If people not go come view, people not go like. And me, I not go see cash from turn fire anybody who's not cash from. And I know somebody sent me one message the other day saying that you play too much on your show. It's not professional. Who professional help? I do professional for 30 years. They pay me 150 a month. Who professional? This is why I use my money. They do. So make I no cash my phone. Don't fire your mouth. Your mouth, good boss. Your mouth. Focus there. Yes, Inter Milan are looking or making a move for Tottenham 26-year-old midfielder Tanguy Ndombele. I've told you guys that before. Wolves have made an initial 25 million euros, which is 21.5 million pounds bid for Strasbourg 19-year-old French midfielder Habib Diarra. Remember that boy? Yeah. But have yet to receive a response from the Lyon club. Very soon, in the nearest future, all these players that are called French players will no longer be called French players. That's just the truth. Africa, we have given France everything. We give them lithium, we give them oil, we give them everything. We will give them lights, uranium, and the rest. Can't give them 2 World Cup, Euros, everything. Very soon, France. Very soon. Very soon. Very soon. Let's leave it there. We will see. This one that everywhere that the hand of France is, they are cutting them off. Oh, my bongo. This one. Mazumu. Hey, France. Emmanuel Macron, see they running mad like popcorn when they put for fire, when they overheat. Omaka, where body go tell you. Body, he go tell you. France, I'm just telling you. See, look at all your success is wrapped and clothed in African colors. But don't worry. The Eiffel Tower will soon go into darkness. I'm just looking at you. I'm looking at you, and then you go choose the wrong person to fight. Russia. Okay. Russia is the meaning of endurance. They can endure this war for another 10 years. They're not going to shake. They'll be like China. You won't fight, I mean. Oh, this is nothing for me, I tell you. This is I know you outside God and press you there permanently. More concrete on top of you. How did we move from football into this France war again? Well, let's come back to it. Luton Town has set to sign Manchester United for the 1-year-old England defender Tyrone Mings. Okay, but no price, no money to them. Many Forest are closing in on the deal for the 2-year-old England defender. Another way. United are leading the race to sign Manchester City's England midfielder James McCarthy, 24, his second low spell at the club. What's he played for them before? After spending last season at Bramall Lane. Al Ittihad has started at Liverpool's 24-year-old defender Ibrahim. Saudi Arabia. Like, either you're the club or Liverpool due to Saudi Arabia. They just want to strip them naked. They're taking their past, present, and the future away from them. Why not? Why? Hey, man, it's about to know this. This is fresh is line, as my job brother would say. Fresh is line. Okay? Let's just take it like that. Arsenal agreed a 17.5% sell-on clause in the 25 million pounds deal that took 22-year-old United States forward for Lion. For the very first time, Arsenal in the league business will make sense. Yeah, at least Arsenal in the history of my following, they have not sold a player for 50 million. I think this will make sense. 17 point something. Then you play for France League now. This guy might go and score 40 goals next season, and somebody will come, price of the man will say, okay, we want to pay 100 and something million. What is 10% of the 100 and something, 100 million again, plus 17%, 17.1, 17.4. 50 million now. If you do, but let's make it not like Sabinos. Make it 45%. Yes. As an investor advice. Give you that investor advice. Yes, let me come to my people. Time don't go like this. 45 minutes just like now. Well, I think I would just start like 5 minutes. Peter. Let me sound like Popsy Small. Oh, Peter. Oh, I don't even know what Peter means. Just Peter. Whatever you do, come and tell me. I think Popsy not old now. I suppose I have to think about all this. Dante 2310 he said, I don't understand this farmer deal with all the underage. Chelsea not all do with the club now. We have at the moment we are still buying underage. Now don't talk do with it. Now I tell you, now you do with it now. You people are child nappers, kidnapping children, and labor now that they do now. That is it. I have a lot to say about course of choice and career. Most people do the course chosen by their parents, even when they do not have the intelligence to cope. They ended up struggling. But you know that, see, listen, anybody will don't like a course, he go there, one, he pass, come aside. That person is supposed to be genius, so because invariably, if the person go do the course where they for his mind, now first class, first class. Like I always say, if I had gone to study law, there's no way I not come out first class. Because I go keep professor for class with argument. Why would that? I go quote law. I go like I go quote even court law forever. And in the case between God and Lucifer, my law professor, I see. I put it to you that this edict, this thing that you're saying now is an interregnum. It is crankum in the composite way of looking at it. My Latin brothers will say, but I don't want to quote it in Latin. Let me say it to the Roman language. Bregada is a verb, adjerio is a noun. Let's look at this matter carefully before we proceed ab initio into let's go. Just scholar will let's say Robert Morrison of Man United and yes, Ashimaso of Milan are part of the biggest flop Wonder Kid. Once they put Wonder Kid for your name, flopping is coming. Oh, Dante 23 he said, make Liverpool just catching on the dude, or else they would regret it. You see, I'm an Arsenal fan. I know when you keep a player for too long. When we won the FA Cup, I said, let Aubameyang go, just the same way we have let Mesut Ozil. People say that you are very ungrateful, you're wicked. How can I stand make top 4 without Aubameyang? I said, boy, you're not there yet for like 6 years now. We don't make top 4. I mean 4 years or 5 years. We don't make top 4. What did they bring? When they score 30 goals, we don't make top 4. Now when we say if they play like Abaka, I will go make top 4. Say no, I'm going to make top 4. Yomo Tayo 1407. You say, what is your take on the statement of Lenglet? What is the statement? What is the statement? I don't know. The guy that I don't know what is the statement. You have to share me the statement and then I can give you my opinion on that. I don't know what the statement is. You know, say sometimes when they say I go just there here now, tune up to every radio station and TV station and they listen to. No, I don't pass that place. I passed that place since like 2007, 2008. I don't know. My mental health is more important. Hey, as I did, so I don't get shishi. I don't want to know what anybody to talk. If you say something, tell me what you talk. I will give you my opinion. But say me, I call the keep myself. Nah. So let's look at let's talk about Champions League. We still have a whole lot to talk about the Champions League, the whole shenanigans. You see, if you notice, I'm carefully and stylishly avoiding the kissing gate. The one way boy will just vest me for that kissing gate. Guys, I see you. Guys, 24/7, I see you. The one who invest me for that kissing gate, let me tell you now. Nah, the mama of Rublias. Okay, so Luis Rublias, in case I don't know, now former footballer. All these people that are always saying former footballers should go and coach. Now former footballer, he played in La Liga, the top player in the La Liga. In case I don't forget, I just want to refresh my memory when I go search the name where. Mama can say she did go on hunger strike. So there is the angle of the conversation that is always making me laugh. Some people say he tell the girl before he kiss her. Well, there's no record of that. There's no evidence. Again, another argument that some people bring, they say when they did for plane or bus, they go, say the girl was laughing when the rest of the teammates were, what do you call it? Were laughing and saying they will marry. Rublias is 46 years, so we're age mates. You know what I'm saying? All these people that like to do some things. But let's also remember that he played for Montreal as a youth player in 1991 to 1993, played as a youth player for Valencia, then Atletico Madrid, and then went on his senior career. He played for Goodies, Mallorca, Beating, Ladia, Zenes, Levante, Alicante, Hamilton, Academica. That's to show you, say, not really Sabi play, but an ex-football player. So we're like, hey, ex-footballer, give them a chance. This is part of what they will go there and do. This Rublias, because now the same year when they bomb and I the burner, it's just the burner for August, the bombing for December. I'm just giving you guys example. He does not know that kissing another person is a bad thing. And then the excuse, you know, the argument that he brings that makes me look at these people, say, anytime people do something in Nigeria, say, if now you no go do harm. Unless when they say Rublias and Luis Rubiales, not be Oyibo. Now that he has done this, it's not one. When I say if now Oyibo go just resign. He has refused to resign. If I say if now Oyibo not go behave like that. He cannot do that kind of thing in public. Well, he hold Ebola for public, standing next to Princess Sophia. He kiss girl. He grab people. Jesus Christ. This man, his name should be Randy Rublias, not Louis. Louis is Louis is a name given to royal people. Louis Aragones, Louis the Third, Louis the Fourth. That Louis the Third is the stupid Louis anyway. I want to do it to the two. So, oh God. Oh. Let's leave Lubias. Now, in mama, adult. No, in mama, like if my mother was alive, now they be age mate. And I know my mom. My mom gets sense. She know foolish. My mom, like they say, yeah. My mom is many things, but foolishness is not part of it. The woman refused to shop for 3 days. Go lock herself for church. So I'm just thinking, say I do this. Let me do this. Let me just go like top of the podium. Or maybe no. Alozie, I also hold Alozie for that a bomb we set. I just hold him, grab him, we squeeze him, and I kiss him. You make kiss, right? Then my mom, they're like, they attack me, resign, come off for office. My mom will come say, in this thing, they do my beginning, I'm not going to shop. Where's your kid, Emmanuel? Come, your mama go do that thing. You sure say your mama go behave. Hey, your kid, Emmanuel, know this today. My mama, hunger strike to keep you on the job. That's what my mother will sing. That's what she will sing. Say, yeah, when the year one, I will the head they go. Come on, she go make it, but she go what's the down way they got the good hunger strike. They call Carabao hospital. Oh God. Sister Nalima said, unrelated to today's discussion, Kanu appears more as club influencer than a club chairman. I hope he does well. Ex-footballers, all of the decrease, all of the smoke, all the plenty injection when they give footballers during their playing days. They make their head they turn and then they get sense. See, Kano Wakwa is a football legend. Nobody go argue against that one. But as a club chairman, he go fully accept he wanted the Gusaka. That's all I know. You don't know the role. People get to need to be trained for a role before. Even Olivia Kahn that went to Harvard to go learn, he was still a learning when the matter arises. Now I reach anything, and they just start. When the season start, I'll beat him by 5-0. What is a small Sporting Lagos go Abago be the 5-0 for home. That's how they go, I go know what they go on. So you know, never send it to Kanwako. Hello, my country people. Football management, not be football playing. You know. Any idiot can play football. To manage football, you have to be sound. Hey, surely, why me say they are called rest ahead, and the rest are now I will remember before. Red Star Belgrade. But I know that name, sis. I know the old. I'm not really inside the old though. Even if it's something like 200 million naira now, and I go say how sharp my brain go be. And that money, the needs, the things what I need to fix. It made my brain off. Till they knock the fuse with the what's that one at the call for science? The Votes Cortes, the medulla. The first day I hear that word, those of my way go school. The first day you hear words like flabbergasted, discombobulated, medulla oblongata. I'm laughing at myself. I know when I heard these words, and I know my reaction. I automatic. So me, I'm like every heart. I have this automatic reaction to things that are strange. So you just go to school, you just hear the teacher say, "What is wrong with your medulla oblongata?" What? What? It sounds like sickness, like one debilitating illness like that can just kill you instantly. And he said, "What, Augustine Adabo, what you are doing got me flabbergasted." Mr. IC, calm down. Mr. IC, be coming down. Now, 225, 2,000. How much my school fee said? This 2,500 where they pay. So now you want to kill us with this English. This English is not commensurate to the school fees and the type of school that we're going to. If we're going to John F. Kennedy now, you speak this English, I can understand. People go, our ladies, you speak this English. But this one, you don't speak, you are flabbergasted. It be like somebody will say 2,000 naira, can't say SMS. I have sent the fund. If you are IMF for 2,000 naira fund, that be coming down. Or somebody send you like 10 gig data. He say, I've provided you a lifetime of internet. Nigga, please, my phone uses 10 gig for 3 days. MTN are criminals. So don't be telling me, be careful why you do these things. Okay, let's go to messages. I don't know. Today I play a couple of, I don't like it, and I know. Your Motayo, wait, you write this name to confuse people, or now your name be that. And you're flabbergasted me now. I'm discombobulated. Okay, this thing is affecting my medulla oblongata. Yeah, Yomotayo 1407. They say about journalists reporting negative story about the league, saying it will keep sponsors away from the league. Oh, that's what he said. But to be very honest, let's be factual here. There is an obsession by a section of the. I'm going to find a balance. There is an obsession by a long history of media, sporting media, to go very highly negative about Nigerian league. But when it comes to projecting the league, they shy away. Take for instance, most of the media in Nigeria, when you tell them to project the league, they tell you they are not paying us for it. But when they see a negative news, they pass on it, they want to put it in. Thank God to people like Toby Adepoju. I'm almost going to give you respect. Toby Adepoju, Adewale Quadri, and the new generation media, who took away media from studios and start doing it on the streets, on social media, and the rest of them, that changed the narrative. Nigerian league does not deserve the kind of criticism that it gets. Now, that's one part, okay? But then there's a part of the administrators who behave like picky way Ashawo Bong give Amraba, or way thief Bong give wish. You know, there is this thing about the administrators of our game that makes them always want to take us back. Last season, for instance, I'm speaking for myself now. I think I did the most by any standard, any shade of the word. I did the most. By the most, I mean, apart from production, which was paid for, I used whatever it is was supposed to be my profit. Remember, I'm driving a rickety car that doesn't have AC, that is leaking, and that money could have bought me another comfortable one, an SUV. I used to traveling around Nigeria, interviewing coaches, players, getting stories, getting positive stories, and also shining light on the fact that, there are some facilities at work, there's some club camps that are beautiful, putting it out there. Now, you are looking, I'm going out there looking for sponsor. I tried to get a 20 million, my partner Benny tried to get a $20 million sponsor from a company in Sweden. It didn't work because, according to them, they were willing to put $20 million until they talked to their Nigerian office, which is the normal thing to do. And the Nigerian office said that $20 million, since they're a streaming company, would work well if they put it on Davido, Burna Boy, Portable, and Wizkid. I don't blame them. It's a business decision. In the business suit, nobody gets emotional. It is logic. And the reason they pulled the plug on that was that our league does not have the media visibility that requires giving us that money or any of their money. And we should go back and do our homework and come back. And the season is about to start. I've not seen any media house, apart from probably us and a few guys on Twitter who are doing independent work. I've not seen any media house. If you listen to all your major media houses, listen from morning till night, you will not hear them profiling a club, new transfer. If they want to talk about the MPFL stories, they talk about it in passing. But when they want to talk about negative, they will not dwell in, they will not go and show Ashwebi, rent event center, call caterers, call live band. They will dwell on it. That is a problem. That is a destructive problem from the Nigerian terrestrial media. I'm not saying things are not wrong. I mean, when I saw the club officials dressed in Barcelona and Danish club jersey to their AGM, I was pissed off. I was pissed off because I'm working my socks off. Tomorrow, for instance, I will upload a video, practically the first interview you will see of the current Plateau United manager, and I hope that it goes out there. People get to understand him and know him, because if that was done in Europe, this is the new coach, this is him. Let's see the way he talk about the game and all that. He's telling his stories as a player. Obviously, he will not get more than 200 views. It's not a problem. But if he had stolen, or we did a story, or there's a story that he collected bribe, that will go viral. My question is, what is wrong with the Nigerian in us? Let me give you a good example. After the Euros, when England lost to Italy, English fans were beating, battering Italian fans. It was not in their mainstream media. It was just on social media. And guess what? They did everything. They did everything to cut it off social media. Make sure nobody was discussing it. Not Talk Sports, not Sky Sports, not BBC, not ITV, not BT Sports. That's how you build a brand. You know why? Because at the end of the day, it is that brand that you build that will return, come back as an investment. Because listen, if a company was coming to put $20 million in the Nigerian league, then the company will do media activation. It is these same people now that are talking bad of the league that the companies will go to and put advert and run promo and push the league, right? So when you kill the league and they don't come, you lose that money. It's a cleansing. I might not be a top fan of Lenglet. I think that sometimes it's too jumpy. But if that's what he said, as you wrote it, that is fact, 100%. And there is, see, I worked in the terrestrial media for 13 years. So there's nothing about it that I don't know. I mean, I work in a system that says, for instance, because the chairman have a personal issue with a former manager of the Super Eagles, of the national team, Amadou Shuaibu, we were giving executive orders to shred Amadou Shuaibu, like everything he does, selection of players, tactics, arrangement. It's got nothing to do with football. This is two people from the same state just having a spat. And I didn't like it. I almost lost my job at the time. I'm going to analyze football the way I see it. If he does well, he does well. He went to Sudan and won. Now you want us to talk bad about it? No, he did well. This is football. It was a problem at the time. I'm just giving you how obsessive we can be in this part of the world, which is very, very wrong. Okay, we can use our personal ego to cause problem. We can use the fact that, I don't like this man, or probably, you see, this is a country where you will call somebody for an interview and the person tell you, I'm not interested in this interview now. I'm not ready. I'm not in the right state of mind. And then from that moment, it's negative, until probably one day the person gets tired, like, okay, no verse, we'll do the interview. It's not supposed to be so, but that's how we roll here. And to you guys, the fans, you might think that this is not true. It is. It is. And so sometimes people get angry because, okay, you could reach out to the FA and say, and this is my staff, I want you to put him as media officer of any of the national team, and he refused. Or you're going for this tournament, please, can you help us put my reporter on your trip? And the FA refuses because they don't have a budget for it. Just take it that everything about the FA and that tournament will be reported in negative light in that media house. It's something that happens all the time. We can't do that. We can't. Love your country more than you love your personal ego and all that. It's a long story anyway, but what Lenglet said, that's true. Sponsors first are not interested in negativity, especially for brands that are not. I told somebody 4 days ago that if I have a sex tape scandal, nothing will happen. I will still thrive. You know why? I have reached a place where I hold my own space. I don't need anybody. I'm not afraid, they will sack you, your guy will vessel. I don't have that. Anybody who wants to do business with me will still do business with me. I've thrived against the odds, right? But you can't do that with our league right now because the league is in transition. And, it's like when you're traveling, you're going to Canada from Lagos and you're transiting at, let's say, Schiphol. Schiphol is Amsterdam, the Amsterdam airport. And you go and slip off and they call your flight and you forget and the flight goes. Okay. You will tell the story yourself. I'm not going to tell anybody's story for them. You will tell the story yourself. That's all I can say. Let's not forget that the major binder in our today's discussion is people who study one thing and are doing another thing in real life. So let's come back and visit that. Now it's time for me to go to my YouTubers and see. Michael, they say, by the way, why don't they view this YouTube and when they like them? When I get leprosy for her, I be when I say if I like the tea, I'll call get money pass on like Dangote, I'll call the sesame, I'll call abandon. I don't understand. And what did they do that? They're telling us each like will give me $1 million. Just to press like, when I go view, when I don't go comment, when I don't go do anything, when I don't go share. That means we and I can't go people TikTok when they show breast and yash, when I do they share, they laugh and you're like monkey with a banana. What do they do themselves? Sure. I have now one verse come on, verse come out. After that, they look when they like when they comment. What do they use? Sure. Let's come up every day. They think what I go do, we go excite these people. What I go do, we go make these people happy. And I don't go see you just do the small one I'm supposed to. After now, come tell me, Fabrizio Romano have this number. I want to get the number. Won't I be like wish? Let's come back to the talk we talked before. Maiwa, say good morning, my brother and everyone in the house. Thank you very much. Oduni Remileko say, with a win on Sunday, up Gunners. Whom Arsenal they play again? Man U. Man U a bit deal with Arsenal. Well, I let they get open here. This one way Arteta don't decide to sabotage the team. So I don't come out my mind fast now. Forget I wear the JC. This JC I just because we did the Champions League group draws. So I'm just honoring them. My mind don't come out. I don't choose my business partners. Bayern Munich now they support the season. Because this one why Arteta this one. I've seen this road before. I said, I don't do this nonsense before. Arteta they don't touch the back end. Nobody don't touch already. They do nonsense. I don't get those emotions to distress myself. Odino, like I say, Promised Land. What should be Promised Land? Shodi Kwakwa say they are called Red Star Belgrade. Okay, thank you very much. Odino, like I say, I want to see our girls' skills to do. I go stay till they come. Okay, that will be 12 o'clock. Definitely on the radio, they'll be there, but they are not streaming live. Streaming is just me alone. Oluwaseyi Adebowale, he said, I don't understand the Palmer signing at all. It looks like Chelsea are talent hoarding and hoping some of these talents will blow up. Okay, it's a gamble. It might happen. Whoever doesn't make it at Chelsea will then be sold for profit. Let's hope it works. Jerry Sampson, the same bros, the former owner of Chelsea and present owner, who's more wealthy. Okay, so the current owner, it's not a single owner. There are two different people, but in terms of wealth brackets, let's look at it from when Roman Abramovich bought the club. When Roman Abramovich bought the club, it was the ninth richest man in the world. So if we want to put a balance on the scale and in relation to Chelsea, I would say Roman Abramovich. Because Roman Abramovich, and then again, on the football side, I think Roman Abramovich comes from an astute, focused, well-planned and purposed ideology of business, because that's not the only business. Just as it's only business. Every other business is done, is succeeded. The ones that they own fully, the one is part of, and these guys that are here, I think they're learning on the job with their decisions and their structure setting. You know they're learning. Roman Abramovich came in, kicked out who he needed to kick out, set up a team. Jesus Christ, that man was the only person that betters Roman Abramovich as a club owner is the late Silvio Berlusconi. No other person, club owner, nobody in the league. This Todd is learning on the job. They spend money and they throw money at. They behave like Nigerian parents. Throw money at every problem. There's no real concrete plan. You don't see a progression, a direction of where they're going. Mr. Sugar wants to say, Elegbete, calm down. No beat YouTubers. So, no, the YouTubers, they behave like demons. They behave like we. So you have to cast them by. See, there are people that I like, but there sometimes you just wonder, like, what else do you need to do to get people going? You're viewing something, just click on like. They're not gonna beat you now. What's that one? If the channel 4 now, they go still go gossip me somewhere say it says sabi anything, not sabi anything. So what's the use? You know, it's not everybody that is with you that is really for you anyway. So just understand that. Some people are just coming there to spy so that they will see your downfall and use it as headline tomorrow. But I'm sorry to disappoint you. I am here to stay. Mr. Shika say, look, good morning. I believe Salah should what? But one thing club may be considering is the fear factor it brings to other teams and also the timing of the transfer. Almost all the senior players can't go. Well, you might have a point, but 118 million is a bigger fear factor in your bank than anything else. Okay, Mo Salah is not going to win you the title. So what's the fear factor? It's not going to win Champions League. It's not going to win you any title this season. So Mo Salah, go to Etihad. 118 million pounds is good money, and the salary is also good for Mo Salah. So everybody should be happy. Mo Salah won you league, won you Champions League. Go to again. You see how we let Thierry Henry go, and he went to go and fulfill his dream at Barcelona. Let him go. You will continue. You build another one. Jerry Sampson say, boss, the former owner. Okay, I think I read that one. But didn't remember, like I say, man, you want sign Cucurella this season. Better go. Banter go too sweet. Okay. Mayo Michael say it will be movement to Fulham for 20 million. Let's keep our fingers crossed. That's all I can say. Let's just keep our fingers crossed. You know me that it will not be player we at the see as an exceptional player. Loache, he go play 5 matches now. Nigerians will go guys, they'll tell you he's the best player. Then after that, we'll see the truth. Loache, Adebowale, these clubs have gone crazy with the prices they are quoting. Odini Remileko says, so far to choose Brighton ahead of Spurs. But Brighton is better than Spurs now. What are you? Who won't play for Spurs? May go get a loser mentality and blood money Chelsea. No, Chelsea were not really serious. Brighton, Matt, it goes sweet be that too. Alone. But they might buy him eventually. Oluwaseyi Adebowale say France go so here hand go so touch them. Edichala Ufoma says, good morning, the Legotan TV family. Good morning to you. He said the only thing the main Nigerian media talk about MPL right now is why did they postpone the league? It is so sad they only talk about the bad things. That's the thing again with the media. They would, it's the thing I like to talk about is, so let me give you a good example. Somebody will see you coming and say, oh, look at this guy, very nice guy, look at the way he's dressed. Somebody just says, I beg, a responsible person to get that, and then he will feed on that. I beg, that's on a Yahoo boy, get dreadlock. And that's what he would continuously, even when you hear people say, hey, no, the guy is a good guy, he's a very, owner of a radio station, he's intelligent, is this, I forget, that is that people, that's what they do. That's the way Nigerian mainstream media work. They'll just speak one thing that is bad. If you listen, go back, even their foreign reportage of foreign stories, news. You see, I've sat down, I was driving one day and I said, okay, let me even listen again. I mean, I don't listen that much, but let me just listen again. For 2 hours, I was driving for 2 hours, driving from Lagos to Ibadan, and there's traffic on the road. So at 2 hours, it's talking about Pep Guardiola and the game that he lost. It was that Champions League final. And the 4 people in the studio, presenter and 3 analysts, always saying, Pep Guardiola is a fraud. Either he's a fan that it's been this, it's been that. I was like, for 2 hours, I get 30 minutes to analyze Pep Guardiola, Man City versus Chelsea. I'm going to talk about the things that Chelsea did right. The tactical approach, how they stop City from playing, how they impose their game, how they score, lock up shop, make sure that no ammunition that is being thrown by Man City he got in. And then I would appreciate Thomas Tuchel for what he's done. This is how my head was working while I was driving. No, somebody was driving. I chartered the vehicle. I was driving. We were driving. I was going. I was like, why is this guys not? All four of them are agreeing that Pep Guardiola is a fraud. Is a fraud. Is a fraud because he lost one game in the whole Champions League season. This is the only game he lost, if I'm not mistaken, and he's a fraud. It's like I don't get it, right? But that's the mentality. Because again, if you're doing that in my studio and I'm listening to you, I'll walk into the studio and like, hey guys, shut down. What's wrong with you? That's not how to do this job. This is not how the job is done. Play music if you don't have anything to say. It's okay. No big deal. Let the listeners enjoy what they're listening to. Let them be educated. Let them be informed, even while having fun. You see, Murphy Jemba. Let me give you a good example of Murphy Jemba. Now, for those who don't know Murphy, maybe you listen to it for the first time, say, why is he shouting? Why is he making noise? Murphy gives more information. He's got longer time anyway, from 5 to 10, than some radio station would do for 24 hours. But it is up to you to follow him very well. So he caresses you, romances you, smoosh you, do all those extra. But then he's feeding you information, statistics, records, this one. Like, sometimes I sit back and like, whoa, thank God I'm on the same team with this guy. I couldn't have competed against him because I don't know where to start. You understand? I don't know where to start because my show is snack. 30 minutes here, 15 minutes here, another 30 minutes here, 1 hour there. But this guy's got this whole long time to do this shit that he's doing. I'm not competing. I don't know, but I'm not competing. But these days, you do 2 hours show and you say, hey, coach is fraud for 2 hours. Oh, wow. But that's the way they do it. So when you listen to the terrestrial radio today, you kind of like tell yourself, like, what's going on? What's going on? I don't mind the guys who are presenting, but what's the owners, the managers? What are they doing? You can't do that on as small as this enterprise. You ain't doing that shit. No. We used to have a shift in the morning. Some girls, I flushed everybody out one day. Like, man, you guys are don't come here and be talking feminism, men are scum, no. Hey, all of you get out of my studio. People didn't like it, they were angry. But you can't set a negative, a wrong agenda and diminish a group of people. So that's the way they do it, and it's not good. Mr. Sugar said some went to university and studied anthropology just to let people know that they are in the university. Just for going sake, they went to the university. It's not really for going sake, but it's just that anthropology in Nigeria, some people will go to science class when they know that art is the best talent, but because of how other view art, they choose otherwise. Really, people view art badly. Papa Jumai say, now experts, they confuse masses who listen to them. I recommend everyone throw away their TV box. Man, there is something that I always ask my wife, like, all these guys I go to Arise. I'm sorry, I'm not raining on anybody's parable. People I go to Arise and channels and TVC and News Central, and every day you hear them telling you all the expert opinion about how the economy should be done. Why what did they don't do? What did they don't do? Where like if Dangote comes now and talk about business on TV policy, I'll listen to him. But these guys, they just wear the native wear their stash, sit in the studio for. Say you guys are bloody jobless because like every single day you're giving expert opinion on these things. You've not done anything. I don't know what you've done. Hey, Jacode was this one. They know history. They know fact. Guy, how many people you employ? How many companies you don't create? How many lives you don't transform? Don't discuss policy for TV easy. Not to implement them hard. Papa Jumai say, I remember a guy that was saying, whether an article enter or Tinubu that them be businessmen and them will create enabling environment for business to thrive. Left fat lad as long as we listen to experts. Okay. Mr. Sugar, I say peer pressure and almost social pressure is one of the things that makes people study courses they don't even need. Really? Mr. Sugar say almost all his senior players can't go in one week. Okay, that's about Liverpool. Really? Peer pressure. Wait. Did anybody choose a course because of peer pressure? I thought that you choose a course because you start seeing yourself like, oh, I know this, I'm good at this. I was practically good at every subject that I studied. Okay, so I could switch lane and do well. And some people will not agree with me, like, oh, I'm showing off here, but it's true. It's just mathematics sometimes just try to confuse me. And then when I meet some people, especially that my devilish producer with his head, he will not come and say, math is very simple. I employed one teacher to teach, home lesson teacher. Small girl, what's her name again? I forgotten her name. And she come here and said, math is simple. Once you know the formula, you know the formula. I look at this girl. If I not pay you now, they go drag me for social media. So let me just pay you, make you get peace. Mr. Chigawa says some of my classmates today are trying to be musicians, but while we were in school, they couldn't go to music class because we said it's only gays that do music. Una be part of the problem. But again, so let me tell you one of the things that I experienced growing up. So I grew up in Assemblies of God. I always say that. One day Assemblies of God people go sue me. I grew up in Assemblies of God. But let me tell you one thing that happened. Majority of the people who became pastors, all of them fail WAEC like 3 times. They say God don't call them. I'm like, okay, so initially it was nice. This one, that one. I don't want to call people name now. That's Amos, this one, Femi, Daniel, Emmanuel, the Amole kids, all of them. I was like, so one day I just paused. This thing, because they started calling me pastor too. Pastor. Me and Oganaya Ojoku. I was like, okay, wait a minute. So the future generation of Assemblies of God pastors, no one will be graduates. Like nobody will be graduate. Everybody now just after secondary school, 2 years, God call you, go to EU. That's all of you want to be. No. No. I'm not going to be this thing. I said, if you call me pastor, I became a rebel. Like, are you crazy? Don't call me pastor. Don't ever call me that name again. Because I didn't want it. Because it was like, once they start calling you, you just start feeling like, now people call you, but you can't lie, say God don't call you. And there's no evidence. So you cannot argue with them. They just say God called them, God don't call them. You want to stop what God has called. Is it you that God called? So I was like, no, I'm not going to do that thing. And that's how most of my friends. But it was good anyway, because you not become a pastor, you become a criminal. So it was good that those ones choose pastor is another way to curb youth restiveness. But I thought that there was something not right about it. And these days when I see some are doing very well. When I see some of them that are struggling, I'm like, shall say this thing will happen. Because you see pastor, reverend, children go become pastor, you too want to be pastor. You forget say those people that will always get preferential treatment in a location of church. I'm saying you go on brutal church, for instance, Waterside, but then they pay all free. Use dry fish, they do all free for you. I go clear. When you born your children, and your children of course suffer the consequence of the moment decision we take. We're supposed to just go set up one shop. They sell obium, they sell cricketers, they sell shoes, they sell things, you grow. You say God call you. Well, answer the call. This is I say these are the things wrong with Nigeria. Okay, so he said, good morning, Elegota TV family, blah blah blah. Appear right now. Why did they postpone the league? It is so sad. They only talk about the bad things. These are the things wrong with Nigerian football, Nigerian media. You are 100% right. It is just the Nigerians like to hear negative things. That's true. Nigerians like to hear negative. Let's be very honest again. You can do a very fine, positive news about the league. And I mean, I do. So I see the numbers. And I see somebody else who would just go, players are not being paid, blah, 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 blah. Do a 10 minutes video, put it online. You will see 200,000 views in the same YouTube. And the person have like maybe 500 or 50 subscribers. How will I see that thing? And then you didn't see when I put out my Kaibas telling the story of how he went from a classroom teacher to becoming a coach and how he's using the money from coaching to train his children and they attend the best schools, some are graduates, or the story of Austin, the captain of it's just we now what do we like. So again, the media is saying, I mean, if we're not doing like that, we're not gonna figure money. Adverts not go come. So let's do the thing that people like, and then advert come. Short-term gain for to kill long-term progress. So again, I put the blame on you people. Now be the problem. And I be the wish. The caterpillar where the shop believe now. Because if we are not they support those kind of things, nobody would want. Shorikwa say people please always like the show to encourage the presenter. God bless us all. Don't mind them. Wishes I was at the year. They send them. Oluwaseyi, thank you very much anyway. Oluwaseyi Adebowale say, what about Fiorentino Perez? It's not the owner of the club, he's a chairman. He's voted by the board and the board is voted in. So Fiorentino Perez is not an owner. What I said is a club owner, somebody who bought a club. In 1986, Silvio Berlusconi bought AC Milan and turned that club around. And all of these new things we see in football, Silvio Berlusconi brought it up. Okay, so there's a difference between a board and an owner. Barcelona, Real Madrid, these are a board. They are voted in, they can be voted out, they can be impeached. But you can't impeach the owner of a club. He's the owner of the club. If you don't like it, he fires you, you bring in the people that he wants to work with. That's the way it goes. The one that they did to Roman Abramovich is robbery. The British robbed. It's like when Tony Blair and George Bush went to Iraq to go and look for weapon of mass destruction where they don't keep for them. Spend millions, billions, and trillions of dollars just to create a war that shouldn't have been. And the ICJ, International Court of Justice, cannot even put them on trial. 12 years after, Tony Blair came out to make a stupid, senseless, idiotic, monkey bamboo shit apology, and everybody's trying to accept it. Nonsense. Tosin Loyamade, hi, how you doing, guys? He said, I always wanted to be in the construction industry while growing up. I got math. I got math and math engineering, okay, in FUTA. When I got the opportunity to work as mech engineer, I jumped on it, have about 13 years as mechanical design engineer, which is good. Oluwaseyi Adebowale say, boss, you just reminded me of the good old days, Abrila with Murphy Jemba and co. Right, and we're close to the end now. We've got like 4 more minutes to go. Sugar want to say, I have a friend who was forced to become a clergyman. Jesus Christ. First off, even if God call you clergy, pastor work is one of the hardest work in this world. They can't force you again. Well, the parents will born me know where the limit of their powers, Richard. Even when he spoke Igbo, he spoke Igbo more than me. Oh God. NDLA will come visit you for that abroad when you did. Igbo more than me. Whenever he finish church service, we gather where we smoke. He finally left a marriage because he wasn't supposed to be there. I guess that's what he wanted to say anyway. And it's funny, and the funny thing is, all of these examples that we're setting up, some of us are still trying to force our children. The other day, me and my wife were sitting down and we said our children to come and present what they want to do in the future. And my son, 11-year-old Bruno, came out because this was like 2 days after his birthday. And he said, I want to be a chef. You could see the righteous indignation on my wife's face. God forbid. I said, what did God forbid? Meanwhile, you like going to top class hotel. You like me taking you to Radisson. You like me taking you to Cross and Cream. You like me taking you to Oriental, 4 Points, Eco Hotel. Go and eat. Other food where they do that, you take an ice cream machine, they take press button, you take come out. Not be chef, cook am. What you would do for this boy wake up tomorrow and she just don't look at me. So you will support him. I say, yes, I will support him, and 2 things I will do. I will give him the best culinary education. If that's what he wants to do. He's 11 years, man. There could still be mistake, but I'm taking everything serious. If this is what he says he wants to do, I'm going to take him serious. I'm going to provide him the best education. I'm going to make him a chef. Recently I reminded her, I said, all the doctors in Nigeria never enter Guinness Book of Records because you want your pikin to enter to be doctor. Meanwhile, Idamasi is a chef. We all talk about her. And look at her today. So is she fulfilled? You don't want your son to be a doctor and be sad and go and open somebody's brain and forget scapula or scissors or gauze. That's how I talk like that. The doctor said, in the brain, in the person's brain, and then the person dies. You don't want that. You want your son to be happy. If my son says he wants to be a DJ, believe me, I'm going to give him the greatest DJing equipment and the opportunities that he can get. If my son says, this is anything I want to be, as long as you're not going to be a prostitute, I don't think I will be able to. I'm sorry, I won't be able to give my child the support if they say they want to be gay, for instance. I mean, that's their choice. And life, like I always teach in my school, life, the real principle to life for me is choices and consequences. There are consequences. But if it's a career path, any career path they choose, I'm going to. They ask me, what if he says he wants to be a model? I said, but we have Alison here. Alison was like our own daughter. Alison was here. Was she not a model? Did we not love her? Did we not support her 100% going to Big Brother? The Big Brother that we were not watching. Alison went there. We started watching it in this house. Okay, so it was a big deal about it. But sometimes people get into that place where making that choice is hard. Say, I get question, Big Uncle Will. Yesterday you said you don't appreciate utility player and you don't read them. Yes, I don't. So what's the question? What's the question? Now you want to stretch this show now. So what's the question there? I don't appreciate utility player because I'm a football person and I'm asking. Say, however, people like Pep and his prodigy Arteta are making that a key value requirement in the players they are signing these days. How do you explain that change, sir? Pep is not signing utility player. That's not true. Arteta is also not signing utility player. That's not true. They play a system that creates a pathway for your ability. So take for instance, Arteta is not going to ask Kai Havertz to be a defender. He can't defend to save his life. Even Bukayo Saka is not expected to defend. He's a right-sided player. That's what he's expected to do. Even as a matter of fact, Arteta and Pep Guardiola are reducing the potential ability of players. Now, let me explain that to you. In the years gone by, Martin Odegaard alone will be the midfielder that spread pass to the right, to the left, and the attackers. Fabregas, Paul Massing, what's that guy that was in front of Vieira back in the day? Emmanuel Petit, name it. Every Paul Scholes, name Luka Modric, Zinedine Zidane. But do you realize that in Arteta's team, Odegaard is only required to give pass to Bukayo Saka and sometimes to the guys in the middle, and then the next thing he shoots. Odegaard's pass to Martinelli is just I don't get a chance, so let me give. That's not the job of a midfielder. So it's not utility per se, it's reduction of responsibility. That's what Arteta and Pep Guardiola have brought into the modern day football. And it's a thing that is built upon this predatory movement of short passing, intricate passing, and looking for space so that anybody can score. Okay? But the problem with Arteta's design is that he photocopied the original with a photocopy machine that is running out of ink. And some of the code or the formulas didn't show well in the photocopy and he's doing it wrongly. Look at this Arsenal team. Last season, Arsenal was fantastic. We're all year praising Arteta. I think that common sense is not being applied in Arteta's team. Arteta wants to overdo. And you know where this thing came from? When Pep Guardiola used John Stone in midfield, it was because of injury. He used him in midfield because he realized over the course of the last couple of years, there is always a man short when opposition sit back and hit them on the counter. So what he did was actually play a 5-man in defense, but tell him, you have a license to move forward. But once we lose the ball and the midfield cannot break it, join the defense. So that anybody that goes wide to go, try to defend on the wide side, we will see have 4 people in the ballpark of defenders that we have. That's exactly what Pep Guardiola have done with the John Stones. So it's not utility. John Stone is still a defender. It's not a utility player. There's nobody who's a utility. And then it is analysts that come up with all this talk of inverted winger. No, there's not an inverted fullback in football. Anything you see, Jack Cancelo, what's it called? What's his name? The one that went to Arsenal, Zinchenko do, Cafu, Roberto Carlos, Paulo Maldini, all these guys have done it before, and they were never called inverted. So I don't think that anybody is creating role for utility player. The thing I like to say to everybody is, look at the successes of footballers, the great footballers of the world that you use as poster boy or poster girl. You have strikers who are strikers. You have midfielders who are midfielders. You have defenders who are defenders from generation immemorial, from 1930 up until this. Please name 3 utility players that are poster boy of football. Name them. At any level, whether 1930s or the 40s or the 50s or the 60s or the 70s or the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s and 2010s and the 2020s. There is not a single utility player. So there is no physics, no science, no chemistry to guarantee me, especially coming from a football school. I'm a football student. It is balderdash to tell me that you are a football player and you are a utility. What the fuck is utility player? You be like Bill. I mean, you be Babajide Sanwo-Olu. No, you can't be a utility player. You are a defender, be a defender. You are a midfielder, be a midfielder. Even with ball playing goalkeeper. Now the Onana try be keeper super. When I lob him in, you don't say I'm outside of the 18-yard box again. The utility player na rubbish and big. Ibanga Smart. He said, I and a couple of good friends realized he had a talent for software engineering and advised him to switch and take it up. When the mom came to ask me to help advise his son to continue with physics. Oh, okay. So I think there's a part 1 to this conversation. He said there is a young boy whose family was a family friend. He was so intelligent, but tried to please his parents by studying physics in full-time, with full-time frustration that would cost him an extra year. Then, see, parental wahala. Oluya say thank you for breaking it down, sir. Thank you very much. You're welcome. I think we've added extra 5 minutes to the show. This is where we draw the curtain on the show today. Tomorrow is Friday. And, like we normally do on Fridays, it is free for all. You come here, ask whatever question you want to ask. But again, this evening, when the draws will be going on, it will be on our radio. If you're too busy, too caught up somewhere, you can just listen on the app. The good thing with our app is you can minimize this and still be hearing what you're hearing, and everything is fine. Do have for yourself a wonderful and amazing day. My name is Idafe Matthew. You love to call me the Elegbete One of Sports. But today, nobody give me the credit. Bro, I got a boy, my younger brother was there to tell you, I got a boy from like a very, very deep slum trenches. Got him, bought him his first football book, got him playing football. He went to the under-17, played well. Nobody gave me credit. I remember his mom threatened to arrest me. His name is Edafe Egbedi. We used to call him Small Okocha back in the day. The ball that I saw him play in the streets of Okwe Street and Isi College, he never played that at the national team, but it was good. When the money came, the parents became parents. That boy was practically tied to